So this is my tale of seven dragons, told by me, Annie Imperial Tree. First, I want to talk about my F3 generation. The F3 generation named Bonehead, and this is a dragon, and it has 5 toes, which is different from the P generation in the pedigree. Bonehead's great-grandfather that had only 3 toes because he had homozygous recessive, so he could only give the recessive allele in the F1 generation. Mate with her great-grandmother will have homozygous dominant gene, so one gave the recessive allele and another one gave dominant allele. They bred out for the F1 generation, which also Bonehead's grandmother have heterozygous gene, so she has 4 toes. Which also means she is incomplete dominant for the toe number trait, and she gave out the dominant allele. Bonehead's grandfather gets the dominant allele from his heterozygous gene. The result, my mother had 5 toes, means she had homozygous dominant gene, and she only gave Bonehead the dominant allele. And his father with heterozygous gene gave Bonehead dominant allele. That's why Bonehead got 5 toes, like her mother and her grandmother. Bonehead can be homologous chromosome from her mother and father. Next, let's talk about my F2 generation. The next offspring dragon from the F2 generation named Quizacia. She is the grandchild of Quetzalcoatlus and Zulu. Her toe number is 5. She inherited this gene from her mother, gave out the dominant allele in her heterozygous gene, and her father also gave the dominant allele from his heterozygous gene. Quizacia's grandfather, a purebred Quetzalcoatlus, has only 3 toes, which means he had a homozygous recessive, which means he could only give the recessive allele, but her mate, which is purebred Zulu, have a genotype big T, which is homozygous dominant gene, and so the phenotype is 5 toes, and she could only give the dominant allele. And with my mother, recessive allele, and so Quizacia's mother got 4 toes, so she could get me the dominant or recessive allele. Because both my parents gave me the dominant allele, so I got 5 toes. Next, I want to talk about my F1 dragon. For the F1 generation, the purebred first mate and had their first child, which is a hybrid dragon in this generation, which is Kwazulu, a mix of purebred Quetzalcoatlus and purebred Zulu. This baby dragon is Kwazulu and have 4 toes, an incomplete dominant dragon because it is a mix of 3-toed and 5-toed dragon. The father phenotype is 3, so the genotype is little t, homozygous recessive gene, so he could only give the recessive allele, but the mother can only give the dominant allele because she got homozygous gene on this trait, and they mate together and hatch Kwazulu with 4 toes. So Kwazulu is an incomplete dominant for this trait. And last but not least about my dragon, the purebred dragon. This is the purebred dragon Cutlass. So this is the P generation. This is the picture of Cutlass. He is the father of the F1 generation, Zulu, grandfather for the F2 generation, Grisacia, and great-grandfather for the F3 generation, Bonehead. His gene for the toe number trait is homozygous recessive, and his phenotype is 3 toes, so he could only give the recessive allele. That is why in the pedigree, he is the only dragon that have 3 toes. Later generations all have 4 to 5 toes because they inherit the gene from the partner side and later generations. And now I will talk about my partner side. This is my last partner to hatch the F3 egg in this generation, the F2 generation. This dragon is a crossbreed dragon because he is a child of a couple of hybrid dragons. In this generation, the offspring of the last generation have had fire breeding, which means he had heterozygous gene for this fire breeding trait. One dominant allele he had is from his mother, which also have heterozygous for this. And next is the second mate. In this F1 generation, my second partner is a hybrid of 2 purebred dragons. He had fire breeding because his genotype is heterozygous for this trait, and she gave his offspring child dominant allele, so our offspring had fire breeding, and I could only give the recessive allele because my genotype is homozygous recessive. And in this P generation, Zulu was my first partner had fire breeding. She is a purebred dragon because she had fire breeding, so she can be heterozygous or homozygous dominant. In the end, he gave our hybrid dragon a dominant allele for this fire breeding trait, so our hybrid inherits this gene from her, and others later generation all have fire breeding. But for my child in the F1 generation, we did not inherit this fire breeding trait gene. So let's talk about the third trait, which is jewel eyes, the sex-linked trait. Jewel eyes is a sex-linked trait. My first mate, purebred Zulu, had a carrier for this trait, which means she had heterozygous gene. Her eggs have jewel eyes, so if I have same gender as my sibling, there will be a 50% that I also have jewel eyes. Let's look at the Punnett whale. So at the top is my first mate gene, which is Zulu. This is the carrier gene, and this is mine because I'm a male, so I'm only got the one allele, which is the 40. So this the first where we will have big J, which is no jewel eye, and for the next square, which is this square, we have big J and little j. This we also don't have jewel eyes, but this is a carrier gene. And for this down here, we will have big J and nothing. So if the egg is male, it can have this gene or this gene which is little j and nothing. And this will have jewel eye. by looking at the Punnett square, we can see that the percent of having dual IX is 25%, and the percent that don't have dual I is 75%, and the percent that have a carrier gene is 25%. So my partner X is a male, so if I have the same gender as my sibling, I will have 50%. I can have no dual eyes or have dual eyes like my sibling. So this is the end of Tale of Seven Dragons. Thank you for listening. Codominant, codominance, codominant.